Internet and Web 1.0. Before we talk about the web as we know it, it's crucial to distinguish it from the internet. The internet, at its core, is a vast, global network of interconnected computers. It started not as a commercial venture, but from a Cold War initiative by the US Department of Defense, ARPANET. Its purpose was to allow researchers to share data and computing resources across vast distances, even if parts of the network were destroyed. This underlying infrastructure, built on protocols like TCP/IP, became the fundamental plumbing, the invisible highways and bridges that led data flow from one machine to another, anywhere on Earth. This robust, resilient system laid the groundwork for everything that followed. Then, in the early 1990s, the World Wide Web arrived. Conceived by Tim Berners-Lee at CERN, the web was a specific application, a way to access information over the internet using a consistent system of hyperlinks. This era, often retroactively called Web 1.0, was largely about information consumption. Websites were static, built with simple HTML, functioning much like digital brochures or encyclopedias. Users navigated through directories like Yahoo or typed in exact URLs. Think GeoCities personal pages, Angelfire sites, and news articles that didn't yet invite comments. Interaction was minimal. The web was a read-only experience. It felt like walking through a vast, unchangeable library, where content was king, but the conversation was strictly one way. Users were primarily consumers, observers of a digital landscape rather than active participants. The early web was a revolutionary leap in information sharing, but its inherent limitations meant the internet's true potential for global interaction was still largely untapped, waiting for the tools that would transform it from a passive experience into a dynamic, two-way street. E-commerce platforms, the digital storefronts we visit, the products we browse, and the transactions we complete online all rely on a foundational technology, e-commerce platforms. These systems provide the essential infrastructure for businesses to sell goods and services over the internet. Imagine them as the digital equivalent of a physical shop, but with automated capabilities and a global reach. At their core, e-commerce platforms manage every aspect of online retail. They handle product displays, process payments securely, track inventory, and integrate with shipping providers. This stripped away much of the technical complexity, freeing entrepreneurs and established companies to focus on their offerings and customers. These platforms manifest in various forms, each suited to different business needs. Cloud-based subscription models, like Shopify or BigCommerce, offer an all-in-one solution prioritizing ease of use. Businesses can launch a professional store, manage orders, and run marketing campaigns quickly, without needing extensive technical knowledge. Alternatively, open-source platforms, such as Magento, provide immense flexibility and customization. They demand more technical expertise for implementation and maintenance, often requiring dedicated developers, but grant businesses complete control over their store's design, functionality, and data. This fundamental choice between simplicity and absolute control shapes a company's entire digital strategy. An e-commerce platform is more than just software. It is the operational backbone of a modern business, directly impacting how effectively it can engage with its audience and scale within the constantly shifting digital economy. Mobile computing. Look around, and you'll notice the ubiquitous presence of mobile computing. It's the device in your pocket, the tablet on your desk, the smartwatch on your wrist. These aren't just gadgets, they represent a fundamental shift in how we interact with information and each other. For decades, computing meant tethering yourself to a desktop, or at best, a cumbersome laptop. Then, an idea took hold: what if our powerful tools could travel with us? Early attempts ranged from bulky luggable computers to rudimentary cell phones and personal digital assistants. Each step pushed the boundaries of miniaturization and power efficiency. The real revolution arrived with wireless internet and touchscreen technology. Suddenly, a device could combine communication, entertainment, and powerful processing into a single, pocket-sized unit. Smartphones became command centers for our lives. They gave us instant access to global knowledge, navigated our journeys, captured our memories, and connected us across continents. This constant connectivity transformed industries. Work became less about a fixed office and more about wherever you could open a laptop or pull out a phone. Education moved beyond the classroom. Our personal and professional lives merged into a seamless digital stream. But this constant presence also reshaped our expectations, demanding instant responses and perpetual availability. We now live with a digital companion, always on, always ready to serve, quietly reshaping our perception of time and space itself. Social media networks. Social media networks, at their core, are digital infrastructures designed to connect people. They allow us to build profiles, share our lives, and interact with others, whether they are friends, family, or complete strangers across the globe. From the early days of Friendster and MySpace, which pioneered the concept of online identity and networked relationships, these platforms have evolved into the complex navigate daily. Today's networks, like Facebook, X, Instagram, and TikTok, offer far more than simple connection. They act as news feeds, entertainment hubs, marketplaces, and even political battlegrounds. Users create content, photos, videos, text, which is then disseminated through their connections, often amplified by powerful algorithms. These algorithms learn our preferences, shaping the information we see and who we connect with. They transform a seemingly simple act of sharing into a sophisticated interplay of data, engagement, and reach. This constant stream of curated information builds communities, fosters movements, and drives cultural shifts at unprecedented speed. The architecture of these networks, invisible to most users, dictates how information flows, how trends emerge, and how our digital identities are constructed. They are not merely tools, they are environments that shape our perceptions and interactions, redefining the very fabric of society. Understanding their inner workings is crucial, as their influence grows deeper with every scroll. Cloud computing. For decades, if a business needed to run software or store data, they invested heavily in their own server rooms. These were noisy, temperature-controlled spaces, filled with blinking lights and worrying machines. IT departments spent countless hours maintaining hardware, patching systems, and predicting future capacity needs, a constant, costly balancing act. Then came the shift. Instead of owning and managing those physical servers, companies began to rent access to computing resources over the internet. Imagine a vast, global network of data centers, maintained by giants like Amazon, Microsoft, and Google. These companies offer everything from processing power and storage to databases and networking, all delivered on demand, like electricity from a grid. When you stream a movie, send an email, or back up your smartphone photos, you're almost certainly interacting with the cloud. Your data isn't sitting on a server in your basement, it's living in one of these remote data centers, accessible from anywhere with an internet connection. This model allows businesses to scale rapidly, deploying new services in minutes, not months, and paying only for what they use. Startups can compete with established enterprises without massive upfront infrastructure cost. This fundamental change has not only reshaped how businesses operate but also fundamentally altered our daily digital experiences. The true power of the cloud lies not just in its immense scale, but in its ability to abstract away the complex underlying hardware, making advanced computing accessible to almost anyone, almost anywhere. Big data analytics. We live in an age awash with information. Every click, every purchase, every sensor reading generates a tiny piece of data. Alone, these fragments mean little. Gathered into massive, ever-growing becomes something else entirely, big data. But simply having a mountain of information changes nothing. The real power comes from big data analytics. This process involves more than just storage. It is about applying sophisticated computational techniques to these vast, complex collections of data. Analysts employ algorithms to identify patterns, correlations, and trends that human observers could never spot. Think about a retail giant understanding exactly which products to stock in a specific store based on local weather patterns and social media chatter. Or a healthcare provider predicting disease outbreaks by analysing anonymised patient records and geographic information. Analytics sifts through terabytes of raw numbers, text, images, and video, transforming noise into meaningful insights. Businesses use it to refine marketing strategies, personalize customer experiences, and optimize supply chains. Governments use it to manage urban infrastructure, improve public services, and enhance security. Scientific researchers apply these methods to accelerate discoveries in fields from genomics to climate science. The goal is always the same, to move beyond guesswork and make decisions based on empirical evidence. This capability reshapes industries, guides policy, and fundamentally alters how we understand the world around us. Yet, with this immense power comes a new set of questions about privacy and control. Artificial intelligence. For decades, artificial intelligence remained largely a concept, a dream of machines thinking for themselves. Today, it is not just a concept, it is a tangible force reshaping our world. At its core, AI describes the development of computer systems capable of performing tasks that traditionally require human intelligence. Think problem solving, decision making, understanding human language, even recognizing patterns and images with remarkable accuracy. The modern surge in AI's capabilities stems from massive leaps in data processing and the rise of machine learning. Instead of explicitly programming every single rule, we feed algorithms enormous amounts of information. The system then learns, finding complex connections and making predictions on its own. This adaptive approach allows AI to improve without constant human intervention. Deep learning, a powerful subset of machine learning, takes this further, using multi-layered neural networks inspired by the human brain to process incredibly intricate data for analyzing and understanding natural speech. You encounter AI every day, often without realizing it. It powers the recommendation engines suggesting your next movie or song. It helps doctors diagnose diseases earlier, drives the personalized ads you see online, and underpins the facial recognition on your phone. Beyond these everyday conveniences, AI is making significant strides in scientific research, environmental monitoring, and even creative fields like art and music composition. As these systems grow more sophisticated, learning from even larger datasets and interacting with the world in more nuanced ways, the line between what a machine can do and what we thought early humans could accomplish continues to blur. We are rapidly moving into a future where artificial intelligence isn't just a tool, but an active participant, challenging our perceptions of intelligence itself and demanding a deeper understanding of its implications. Blockchain and crypto, at its core, blockchain is a digital ledger. But unlike a traditional bank ledger, which lives on a single, centralized server, a blockchain distributes identical copies across a vast network of computers. Each new transaction, or a group of transactions, gets bundled into a block. Once that block is verified by the network, it is cryptographically linked to the previous one, forming an unbroken chain. This makes it incredibly difficult to alter past records without being detected by the entire network, ensuring transparency. This ingenious architecture gave birth to cryptocurrency. Bitcoin, the first and most famous, emerged from a white paper in 2008 proposing a peer-to-peer electronic cash system. It uses blockchain to record every single transaction, publicly and immutably. When you send Bitcoin, that transaction is added to the blockchain, verified by other participants, and then permanently recorded. There is no bank, no central authority, just the network itself maintaining the ledger. Cryptocurrencies offer a way to transfer value directly between two parties anywhere in the world, often faster and with lower fees than traditional banking. This technology promised to fundamentally reshape our financial systems, challenging centuries-old institutions. But its applications extend far beyond digital money, hinting at a future where trust itself is engineered into the very fabric of our digital interactions. Biotechnology. Humans have long shaped the natural world to suit their needs, selecting seeds for better crops or fermenting grains into alcohol. These practices, ancient as they are, laid the groundwork for what we now call biotechnology. The real revolution began not with observation, but with understanding the fundamental blueprint of life itself, DNA. Modern biotechnology moves beyond simple selection. It is the deliberate manipulation of living organisms or their components to produce desired products or traits. Think of it as writing nature's code. Scientists can now precisely cut and paste genes, giving bacteria new instructions to produce life-saving insulin, or engineering plants to resist devastating diseases without extensive pesticide use. In medicine, biotechnology transforms treatment. We see gene therapies emerging, designed to correct the genetic errors that cause inherited illnesses. It powers vaccine development, creates advanced diagnostic tools, and even drives the production of complex pharmaceutical drugs. Outside the clinic, biotechnology offers solutions for a cleaner environment, like microorganisms that consume oil spills, or new ways to create sustainable biofuels and materials. This field isn't just about tweaking existing life, it is about crafting entirely new biological capabilities. From extending human health to securing food supplies and remediating environmental damage, biotechnology is fundamentally altering our interaction with the living world. The question now isn't if we can change life, but how responsibly and effectively we will choose to do so. Robotics and automation. For decades, robots have quietly reshaped our world, moving from science fiction to the backbone of modern industry. Early industrial arms revolutionized manufacturing, allowing factories to produce goods with unprecedented speed and precision, reducing human exposure to hazardous tasks. This wasn't merely about replacing hands, it was about introducing tireless efficiency and consistent quality on an unimaginable scale. Today, their presence extends far beyond assembly lines. Autonomous mobile robots navigate vast warehouses, sorting packages and optimizing complex logistics. Surgical robots assist doctors, performing intricate procedures with microscopic accuracy, enabling less invasive surgeries. Even in our homes, automated devices handle chores and provide companionship. This widespread integration isn't just about machines replacing human labor, it's about extending human capability, tackling challenges that are too dangerous, too repetitive, or too precise for us alone. Automation, however, encompasses more than just physical robots. It integrates artificial intelligence and sophisticated software that learn, adapt, and make decisions. Think of the algorithms optimizing traffic flow in smart cities, or the predictive maintenance systems preventing equipment failure in power plants. These invisible forces work in tandem with their mechanical counterparts, creating highly efficient, interconnected systems that operate with minimal human intervention. As these systems grow smarter and more ubiquitous, they raise fundamental questions about our future. Where do human skills fit into an increasingly automated landscape, and how will we manage the profound societal shifts this continuous transformation inevitably brings? Virtual and augmented reality. Imagine stepping into a completely different world, one built entirely from digital code. That's the essence of virtual reality. When you put on a VR headset, the real world vanishes. Your senses are tricked into believing you're somewhere else. Whether it's a fantastical alien landscape, the operating room of a virtual hospital, or the cockpit of a fighter jet. This immersion creates powerful training simulations for surgeons and pilots, allows architects to walk through unbuilt structures, and delivers unparalleled experiences for gamers. The goal is to fully replace your immediate environment with a synthetic one. Augmented reality takes a different approach. Instead of replacing the real world, AR enhances it. Think of your smartphone or specialized glasses overlaying digital information directly onto your view of reality. Directions float above the street as you drive. You can virtually try on clothes or see how furniture looks in your living room before buying it. Field technicians use AR to see diagnostic information on equipment or receive remote guidance from experts, their real-world view supplemented with virtual instructions. AR doesn't aim to transport you, it grounds you in your current space, adding layers of digital context. The fundamental distinction lies in their relationship with reality. Virtual reality substitutes your perception, creating an entirely new digital space. Augmented reality adds to your existing perception, blending digital elements seamlessly into the physical world. As these technologies mature, the line between them, and between our digital and physical lives, continues to blur, reshaping how we interact with information and each other. The space economy. For decades, space was largely the domain of government agencies. NASA or Roscosmos and others drove exploration, often with taxpayer dollars. But that landscape is rapidly changing. Today, we're witnessing the rise of a robust space economy, a commercial ecosystem generating billions of dollars and attracting private investment at an unprecedented scale. Companies like SpaceX, Blue Origin, and Rocket Lab aren't just building rockets, they are fundamentally altering how we access and utilize space. Satellite launches, once incredibly expensive and infrequent, are becoming routine and significantly cheaper. This allows for a boom in services, global internet access from constellations like Starlink, sophisticated Earth observation data for agriculture and climate monitoring, and even precise GPS signals that underpin our modern world. Beyond this crucial infrastructure, new industries are emerging. Space tourism, once science fiction, is now a reality, albeit for a select few. More critically, space manufacturing is taking shape, using the microgravity environment to create advanced materials or pharmaceuticals impossible to produce on Earth. Looking further ahead, the prospect of asteroid mining for rare earth elements or water ice on the Moon and Mars hints at truly vast resources waiting to be tapped. This isn't just about launching satellites anymore, it's about establishing an entire economic infrastructure beyond our planet, creating new markets and immense wealth. The question is, how quickly will this off-world economy truly become self-sustaining and accessible to all?